Okay, well, we had Varun earlier who had joined us to talk about Mahanagar Gas. We also have a Motilal Oswal note that's come on that stock, and they are slightly more optimistic on the stock than Nuvama, wherein they've maintained their buy rating target at 1760. Kunal, what are you making of this stock of Mahanagar Gas? Because if you pull up any chart, last 1 month, 6 month, YTD 1 year, the stock has been sluggish. It's not done anything at all on the charts, and now Nuvama has turned cautious on the stock fundamentally. On the charts, would you believe the same, because this stock has been a big laggard?
I've never liked this space with Mahanagar Gas, Gujarat Gas, and I think IGL. I think all three of the stocks, because they are very inconsistent with their chart patterns. There have been multiple periods. I think not just 1 or 2 periods in the last 1 year or so. There have been multiple periods and phases where these stocks have given or were on the verge of a breakout, excellent volumes just prior to the breakout, and then immediately post that you see these stocks cracking down and then failing their breakouts time and again. So I think largely what I've observed over the last many years of these stocks is that they are best suited for buying, when they come back into deep corrective territories, major oversold on the indicators. So, it doesn't act as a surprise for me, frankly, that these stocks yet again, just closer to a swing breakout for these stocks, have come back into such kind of a negative news flow, because time and again, I think we've seen that kind of a price pattern into these names.
All right, so that's about some of the counters related to the oil and gas space. But other than that, in the pre-open rate, it's Bajaj Finance as well that is showing an uptick and being one of the top gainers in the Nifty 50 for now. Kunal, a quick chart check on Bajaj to inspire you, because Bajaj Finance, what a move on Friday's session, almost a 5 to 6% jump.
Yeah, it's been a very good move, and I think finally, after quite some time, Bajaj Finance and Finserv should make a very good comeback. I would be very bullish on both of these names. In fact, over the last 6 months, we can break the outperformance for the Bajaj twins into 2 parts. There was a phase where from, I think, Jan, Feb, March, these stocks traded exceptionally well. I think 7,200, 400. From there, Bajaj Finance specifically moved towards the 9,000 plus mark. And then post that, these stocks have gone to 2-3 months of a hibernation or consolidation. Same is the case with Bajaj Finserv, even though slightly late starter as compared to Bajaj Finance. But I believe that both of these stocks, after Friday's move, excellent volumes, the rally initially for the first 3 months and then a consolidation prior, I think indicates that we are looking at a major mean reversion being completed for both of these names. So I would be bullish on both of these stocks, and my expectation is that they would come back into that guiding light for the entire financial services sector, because you were looking at a point where over the last 3-4 weeks, the financial services pocket was actually going through a patch of consolidation because not too many large cap names were participating. But I think with the comeback of Bajaj Finance and Finserv, you would probably expect the financial sector overall should start to outperform as well.
I want to check in on what MCX is up to, because that's where perhaps you'll see a big fillip, considering financials have already moved up and they began their move on Friday itself. MCX has received that SEBI nod to launch electricity derivatives now. While of course, over the year also the stock has done very well, but right now too you're seeing a big fillip of about almost 2.5 coming in on that particular counter, 2.5% that is. There's BEL, there's RITES, there's Garden Reach. All of these stocks are the newsmakers today, so let's check in on those. About a 1% uptick, or further uptick I should say, is what we're headed in for when it comes to Bharat Electronics, RITES, Hindustan Copper, Garden Reach. These could be all the other active movers as well in trade. Just counting down to the market open then, Infosys has received a closure of one a GST payment, or show cause notice rather, that of 32,400 odd crore rupees. So perhaps that stock also is going to see some amount of movement. But having said that, the texture of the market really seems to be all the rate sensitives and financials at large, because of the other announcements with regards to the coal financiers, to MFIs that we've seen from RBI. So there you go, the first open rate. First market rates this Monday morning. Start off with Bajaj Finance, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, and then of course, the smaller rung plays as well. The entire MFI group, the coal financiers, which really saw a big move come in on Friday itself. And you are seeing most of them still hold out. HDFC Bank now counting down to 2K on the stock. Muthoot Finance, Manappuram still holding very, very steady. Another over 1.5% move is what you're seeing on both those stocks right now. ICICI Bank, though, a lot more tempered, but it's a solid 0.5% move that you're seeing on the Nifty this Monday morning, 25,100 plus levels. Let's see where the big contribution other than banks and financials is really coming in from and what the texture of the gainers are. What about autos? What about realty? Are those also plays which are holding out? What about FMCG? Are you seeing a follow through on defense? Or that easing, or tad bit easing, I should say, that played out last week, is that really continuing or not? Nifty FMCG mildly in the positive right now. You're not really seeing a big fillip. What about Nifty Realty? Because some of those names for the last 10 days have really been the high flyers and quite a bit of churn coming in there. Pretty quiet for the Nifty Realty, so it's largely just financials. FMCG should come up on your screens, cap goods should come up on your screens, IT as well is the other pack, perhaps which would see a bit of a rebound play out. For the last fortnight or so, we've been pegging the fact that perhaps IT will now play catch up, and some of those underperforming sectors, there you go, pretty much on expected lines. IT is now holding up 0.7%, and the contribution within the IT sector will just come up for you on your screens as well. So going strong, 0.5% higher, 25,100 plus levels in the Nifty. The breadth of the market also looking strong. Reliance, after a steady Thursday, a quiet Friday, now is back in the green, holding up a good 1% as we speak right now. It's really picture perfect. Axis Bank 1.7% higher, and I think more important is that the churn, the underperformers are now beginning to participate, and I think that is a very, very healthy sign. Chandan, what are you making of this 0.5% move on the Nifty? Okay, I'm just going to get back to Chandan in just a second, but Snehi, anything that you're spotting?
Absolutely, lots of stocks are doing well today. You have a Kalpataru project that's soaring up today. 5% positive news flow coming in for that company. You have IIFL Finance holding up pretty smartly. A 4% uptick coming in over there as well. Financials continue to be in focus. Shriram Finance up 3%. Bandhan Bank is doing well. Today the QSR space seems to be shaping up well because Sapphire Foods, you're seeing a 2.5% uptick coming in on that front as well. NTPC on the back of new commissioning, that stock is up 2.5%. What's slightly under pressure from the Nifty 50 pack today is Eternal. So all eyes are going to be on Eternal, erstwhile Zomato, SBI Life and Titan. They join the list of losers from the Nifty 50. Nominal losses coming in across the board, but well, yes, these are some of the stocks that are doing well on the market today. On the flip side, it's names like Aditya Birla Real Estate. Despite an MK coverage coming in with a buy rating, the stock is lower by almost 2%. Cochin Shipyard also down 2% today. So these are some of the stocks that are in focus in today's trading session, Aisha.
Couldn't get better this Monday morning after that big bazooka from the central bank on Friday, holding out just so well right now. And like I said earlier, it's the underperformers which are now beginning to play catch up, and I think that's a very healthy sign. I mean, who would have thought that it's actually going to be Nifty IT which is going to be the biggest performer